President of EIPM. It's a pleasure for this 30th anniversary presentation of the best tools to assess maturity of your organization and to get, depending your level, an EIPM Peter Kraljic Award or to be certified by EIPM in terms of maturity. So we're going to spend some minutes together with Christian, who is leading this awards and certification. And to present you quickly the process and in function of your questions, getting more in detail. So our willingness is getting through the process first, understanding what are the outcomes, what are the benefits of the Peter Kraljic Awards and of the certification, and then answering your question through the platform. Just, I know there are some new people in this presentation. So briefly, EIPM. So we are 30 years old, as you know. We train around 5,000 people per year. We train in 9 different languages around the world. We have 1 campus in Shanghai, and we have 7 branches in the world. Basically, we have 3 main pillars here. One on education with MBA, with diploma, with certification programs. We have a research center developing new ideas, and developing, presenting new ideas and presenting also the new papers, new outcomes for implementing in the education. And the last point is the in-company programs, which are customized programs coming from the education. And the last point, which is very important, is as with school, we have been developing a lot of e-learnings, a library of 130 e-modules, and we have also the talent assessment, which have been today covering more than 400 users, and competence assessment with 20,000 users. So this is a very short and quick picture of EIPM, and with these certification programs I will not enter in, but different level certification and global footprint around the world. And with some companies, we have been creating some academies with these companies, and we have some big names as a clients around the world in the telecom, in food processing, in cosmetics, in transportation, and so on and so forth, and automotive, and also all these services. So briefly, this is the EIPM. Just before starting, I think it's important to get some point of view from some winners in terms of EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. And we selected some. So we're starting with Salvatore Bernabei. He was the CPO of Enel and is now the CEO of one branch called Enel Renewable. Salvatore.
So for us at Enel, the Peter Kraljic Award is a prestigious award, and we decided to apply this year because we started 2 years ago a transformation process, and after a couple of years we started harvesting our first result. We decided to apply to the most prestigious award in the world. So this year we took this decision. We invested a lot of our effort in preparing people for this big jump we want to have. Not only in redefining our processes, our systems, but to realize a real cultural change. So we now behave in a different way with respect to the past. Our colleagues from business acknowledge that our aptitude is different, and we really sustain them to create value. So the award we have received is about talent management. It's about creating value by investing in people, by investing in community. And in fact, last year we launched several communities, so more agile way to be organized to deal with the new challenges that procurement has to face together today to be in line with the requirements of the business and of the outside market. For us at Enel, receiving this award means being proud of what we have done, because a so prestigious award has been received, and it gives us more energy to go on in our transformation, and also the fact that it has been recognized, our effort and our result, by so prestigious EIPM Institute, so give us more energy to go in the future to continue our transformation process.
So the important point, thanks very much, Salvatore. The important point is to understand this process Salvatore spoke about. So the process, I'm just getting through the complete process very quickly. 3 steps. The first step is about self-assessment and description of practices, giving you a maturity score and benchmarking. The second step is about the audit, and then the same process permits to have whether getting on a certification of the maturity of the organization or on the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. So the idea is really to present you this process and the 2 outcomes, the certification and the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. So let's jump in the self-assessment and description of practice very quickly, and then going after. So we start with a self-assessment, meaning that you describe yourself very quickly, shortly, and you score yourself. So this is the self-assessment. Then in the tools, which is online, what we call Be Best, you're going to answer a certain number of questions, 99. This tool is based on the EFQM framework, and it's really, let's say, not a copy-paste, but a copy-paste adapted to procurement. We have been working on, and you have 9 criteria divided in 32 sub-criteria for 99 questions. So this is to give you an idea. So you can go very quickly if you don't want to get any improvement. It can take some time if you go through a complete process, and if you ask your team to work with you to work on this process and to get the correct information. The idea is just here, as we speak about a complete organization, you may not, as CPO, you may not have all the information. So what we saw, and we can come back on that, on the process, is we saw very frequently the creation of a team and splitting this process in different subteams. So an important job to be done on the process to understand what to improve and where to improve. And the outcomes, the deliverable, is a score sheet, which is going to represent the maturity index of your organization. So this is the first step. Where are you in this maturity scale? And the second outcomes is we're going to benchmark you against the 400 or 500 companies we went through, but also the average of these 500 companies, but also we're going to benchmark you against the best in class. And the best in class are the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. So basically, first, you go for a self-assessment. You give the description of your practices. Second, you enter in the tool, and you have 99 questions to answer. So it's an holistic tool, and it's based on the EFQM framework. And you go through this complete. Better to create a team for getting through, and you're going to get a complete score sheet of your results, and this score sheet is going to be also associated to a comparison of the average of these 500 companies, and also compared to the best in class in function of the process. The best in class being the past award winners, the 44 organizations who won the award. So this is the outcomes of the utilization of the tool. So this is the first part, what we call maturity and benchmark. So this is what you're going to get. So based on that, we're going to analyze, and we say, hey, it's worth getting for a visit. So we have an audit. You understand that since last year, these visits are just online. but we hope to come back to a face-to-face visit. So the idea here is the audit is really on one hand to validate what you gave as a self-assessment and what the results you had through the tool. And the idea there is to validate and to understand your process and to understand the relation you have with your stakeholder, to understand the outcomes when you speak about the tool you may have for assessing people and so on and so forth. So we are there to validate, but also to understand your process and to understand what you are. So the deliverable of that is a complete report. It's not a 2 pages automatic report. It's a complete report we write, and this report is going to be the basis somehow for the certification and for the award. Just one point which is critical here: the audit is realized by some person from EIPM. It is Christian or Hervé Lejean, who is in charge of research, and somebody from EFQM to be sure we're on track with the EFQM framework. So you understood, very serious process, and this is what we have been doing for the self-assessment, the description, maturity, benchmark, audit visit, and all that is going to give us two-way. Whether you say, hey, I want to get a good idea of my level and being certified, or in function of what I've been doing, I want to be awarded. It's different. It's totally different in terms of what is it, a certification, what is an award. So if I go for a certification, the idea of certification is based on my results. I would like to see on the maturity curve which level I have. And basically we created a different level, a base level, a bronze level, a silver level, a gold level, platinum level, which is going to put you on this curve of maturity. So we're not mature, we're still on the transactional base, or we are very mature, we are in the communication, where the role of purchasing procurement is really to serve the business, and we have a business to grow, and so on and so forth. So we're going to deliver a certificate, and with press release and so on and so forth. This certificate is for 2 years, and the idea is you can grow. The idea is to help companies to grow. So this certification is based again on the self-assessment we spoke about, on the benchmark of with the other organization, audit, and the progress achieved since previous certification, and so on and so forth. So if it's the first certification, is a baseline. So the first outcomes, I would say, from this from the process, from Be Best, is the certification. Again, the certification is to understand which step are you in the maturity level to improve. And you want to show your team, you want to show your stakeholder, you want to show your CEO, you want to be compared with other organizations. The idea is here, the certification. This process is to certify you on this benchmark. So this is on this learning curve and on this maturity curve. First, certification. The second element is the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards is somehow different. It's based on the same process, but it's let's say a kind of concourse. It's an award. So this year I may not be awarded. Next year I can be awarded. It's all depend the companies who are presenting this year. And it's not as a certificate where we're going to deliver a certificate for the overall organization and for the overall maturity. Here, we're going to have different awards. We're going to have an award for talent management, for external collaboration, for sustainable future, for agility and innovation, transformation, process management, risk management, and the overall organization of the year. And the idea here is we go for the assessment. We have a panel jury with the Honorary President Peter Kraljic himself coming and working with us during the day. and we have also different members of past winners participating to this award. And then we have an award ceremony with a certificate, with a trophy, and a press release. So this is the overall idea of the award. Even though we'll be back on that, even though since last year we have been modifying a bit the process of this award to simplify the process and to have an award not only based on the complete process, but based on what you did during the crisis and how we have been using the crisis to go further on. So, but I'll be speaking about that a bit later. So, just enough to say, we have a process. This process also help us to get a certification and help us to get a complete EIPM Peter Kraljic Award. Now, so this is a big introduction just to explain and understand the complete process. We're going to go in detailed process, even though it's going to be light because we'd like to get some question. But perhaps it's interesting for us to go on more detailed content. And speaking about the self-assessment, Christian, you want to enter in speaking about that and somehow explaining about the EFQM model?
Yes, thank you, Bernard. Good morning, good evening to everyone. So I will, as Bernard said, go one level detail in the explanation of the tool and the processes step by step. So first, as Bernard said, the EFQM business excellence model is a holistic model that covers all the different functions in an organization, like the leaders, the people, the strategies, the partnership and partners that you have, and also what the organization is chartered to deliver in terms of products or services. And the second part we are looking for is how do you measure the results and how your stakeholders measure your results, what they perceive you are delivering as value to them. It's a sort of challenge between the enablers, what you do and how you do it, and the results that you achieve. And it's a PDCA cycle. If the results you achieve are not the best, then you modify your enablers in order to deliver more results. So it's a very powerful system and tool which has created more value in companies that use the model and more value for the stakes of the company on the market and growth on the market. So this is why EIPM selected it and specialized it for procurement. Next slide. So as said, this model is quite known and used for many years, but we are updating the questionnaire to take in account the best and most powerful practices and new opportunities like Industry 4.0, digitalization, IoT, big data, analytics, risks, personalizations, and so forth. And the first purpose was to help organizations like yours improve and showing the maturity and comparing with other companies. So it's a benchmarking tool. Next slide. The overall use of the assessment is multi-objective. The one is to do an assessment to improve and get benchmarking information. The second, as Bernard said, is to compete for awards or compete for certification or work for a certification. And in the dynamics of renewing the certification, you have the third level, which is continuous improvement, defining your pipeline of actions to implement and deploy, and increase your maturity index and satisfy better your stakeholders. The tool in the third line can also be used in a multi-site, multi-organizations to identify which part of the organization has the best practices in one or several criteria, and then deploy these best practices that have been identified overall in the whole organization. So you can use the tool and the processes, including certification and so forth, in various with various objectives. Next slide. So I will speak a little bit more about how the audits should be performed, and it's used, as you see, for certification and for the award. It's the same process. So the audit visit is by two assessors minimum to review the activities and the related metrics, the achievements, and we compare that with the different certification level and maturity levels. It's not a dog and pony show. It's working on working documents that have been used and presentations that are used in the organization. It's not, I try to look the best because I want to do that. It's really to be honest and show what you are doing, because among the activities, we review the documents, we have discussions, we give challenges, but also we will be providing you with findings and suggestions for improvement in the report. And also, of course, as there is a certification board, we make a recommendation to this board for the certification level or to the jury for the award. So you have to understand that the purpose is to help the organization using the tool and the processes for your benefit. So trust should come from the accuracy of the information.
So based on the detailed process presented by Christian, you understand we reach, as we say, the certification and the award. So I want to come back on these elements and to perhaps explain a bit more in detail, and starting perhaps by the certification for organization, which is, as we say, you see the complete process presented, and you go whether, and you can choose, and you can do both, in fact. You can choose certification is to understand your level compared to the market, compared to a business, and getting further on. The award is to get a trophy and to get this type of recognition. So you can go for certification and award. You can go for award and certification the same year. It's not at all prohibited. So what we say, based on the self-assessment, based on the work you did with the tool, based on the audit and analysis, we can say you are among these 5 different type of maturity. The first is, as we say, is a transactional mode, and with certification, you'll be certified not as a basic, but base certification. So sometimes we're not giving the certification. We just say you are the base, so you're not going to communicate on that. The second level is bronze, meaning that we are a support function. We have been introducing TCO. We have been working on process. We are much more reactive and reactive. The third level is silver. We are in a partnering function, cross-functional and cross-functional expertise. Then we go on gold, and it's already in the networking approach, working suppliers, partners, working close relationship also with our stakeholder. We bring innovation and so on and so forth. And the ultimate level is platinum, where we say my role is really to support the business, is to help to help and to contribute to increase growth, whether by innovation or by any overall. So the certification is going to be delivered, and it's going to give the opportunity of one company first to have a certificate, to prepare of a press release, and to be recognized for at one of this level. And the idea is that this certification is a way for improving people compared to the award, which is a recognition with a trophy. We say the certification is a way to improve, to see exactly where you are and to see how we can improve. The certification is delivered for 3 years, but even though for 3 years, you may not wait for 3 years for improving. So if you are on a silver, you may say, well, I would like to go further on and work with your organization and say, giving a challenge that next year I would like to be gold. So this is the idea about it. Again, for the certification, we totally associated with the EFQM. And the EFQM certification are very well known and recognized, and we're on the same track with the EFQM. If we look at a bit more detail for certification, you can have global certification. My company is global. I'm going to get, as a global organization, a certification globally. Now, my organization is global, but I have regions. Or I have local organization, and it may be challenging you as a CPO to create this challenge in between your region and in between your local organization to validate at which level they are, and to try to get a certification and to bring the idea of certification for the different level of organization. So the idea first, we have this certification for the global, for the group at the headquarter level. But if we have organization for Asia, for America, for Europe, for Africa, for Arabic world, we also can get a certification per region, or we can get this local certification, or we can also get a business-specific organization saying, okay, I want to get for this business raw material compared to the other business construction, I want to get this business certified. It will give us a recognition compared to the other competitors, and recognition to what our suppliers. So the idea of what I mean is the idea of a certification can be implemented at different level, and it's very important because it can create challenge in your organization, and it can be bringing recognition for your stakeholder, for your CEO, but also for your suppliers. And the idea there is to be challenging, and not to say I got a certification is forever. No, the idea again is for improving. What you're good today on one element, but tomorrow we have new elements, and are you good in these new elements? So it's to challenge yourself and to improve yourself and to be completely open on innovation and the world which is changing so much. So certification scope, and we can come back for any question on this certification we created some years ago. The second point is EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards just presented is the outcome is somehow different. Is the certification of Peter Kraljic. Here we go for exactly the same process. You understood the award, the self-assessment, I go for the tool, I'm shortlisted, I go for the audit, and so on and so forth. So over 600 companies went. We have 54 winners at the end today since the award be created. We presented you the different type of awards, the different topics, and with the award of the year. And basically this is a classic process. And we created a lighter process, a special process since 2020. The idea behind is to fit or to be closer from the reality of the business today. Since last year, we know that we are facing a big crisis, and the role of purchasing procurement has been somehow to work with this crisis and to answer and to be present for stakeholders. So it was not a question of necessarily being the best overall, being the best in the process, or being the best in people, but it was to be the best to answer the need of the organization. And we took this opportunity to create somehow a questionnaire totally aligned with the EFQM questionnaire, totally aligned with the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards, which is online, but a lighter questionnaire permitting also a contactless award, meaning that the audit is online, is not to validate all the elements of a relation with stakeholder, with your suppliers, but it's really to validate what you have been doing in this turbulent time. So last year it was more on the what you have been doing, how successful you have been doing during the crisis, This year we go on this process, and it's more about leadership and excellence during turbulent times. Basically, what we say, time is over for procurement to answer the urgency of the needs in terms of mask and so on and so on and so forth. We out of a crisis is more to jump over, is not anymore to recover, but it's how to use the crisis to go further on. And it's a question of leadership, of excellence, and how we are excellent, how due to this crisis we have been getting new markets, we have been better, and we are excellent with excellent results, but also excellent results in terms of results outcomes in terms of products, services, but also in terms of financial results. So just to go back on this on the award. The idea is we follow exactly the same process. You have the self-assessment. You take online this document, which is not online, and you're not answering online on BBS. It's a questionnaire, so you can download this questionnaire. You answer the questionnaire, and you send us back. And based on that, you're going to be selected or not. And we're going to go for a specific audit, what we call a contactless audit, and you go on the award with the different topics of the award. So it's not necessarily the same topic we had, but we still have some topics for the award. So this is since last year, sorry, and this year we go back on this slide topic. Because we know by end of the year, purchasing procurement are going to be underwater with a lot of elements to face. Some shortage in raw materials, some difficulties in logistics, and so on and so forth. So tough time because the world has been recovering, because the world is becoming more and more challenging, and the role of procurement is key these days. So this is the reason why we have been maintaining the Peter Kraljic Awards, and this is the reason why we have been a bit modifying the overall topic. Not anymore 99 questions, pretty heavy, pretty difficult, but a lighter questionnaire, really focused on this crisis and the outcomes and your success during this crisis. Just and we still have the same jury, meaning that we have Peter Kraljic as a jury. We have the president of the year is the previous winner of the organization. We have a CEO of EFQM, Christian, Hervé, and myself as a member of jury, and you see, this was the different topics on which we have been awarding people. Last year we had the organization of the year, and we had 4 different topics we have been awarding, and 54 award winners with ADP, Atlantic Grupa, Bosch, Capgemini, ENT, Ericsson, STC, Sanofi, Nokia, LVMH, and Essilor were the main winners during these last years. So this is the overall concerning certification and award. Perhaps just before your question, I just would like to show you another video of one of the winners who is explaining what he got from this award. He's Daniel Banek, the executive director of sorry.
So my organization won the Kraljic Award in 2015, and the biggest motivator for us to compete in this award was really to see how good we are and to benchmark our, let's say, capabilities, our features with the best-in-class organizations. This award really brought us a lot of visibility within the company, but also in the region where our company is operating. And I would say that it gave us certain importance within the company. We won again, let's say, this award for developing talent this year, and again, it was highly appreciated because we just had a feeling that we were doing something well, but unless you really compared your practices with the practices of the best-in-class organizations, you can never be sure how good you are.
So, very important point in what Daniel said here. It's again the idea of the process, the idea about this comparative analysis, this benchmark, the idea of improving, and the idea of recognition, internal recognition, and recognition from suppliers. So this is what we were willing to say. We can go a bit deeper in some elements in function of your question answer. So the floor is yours through the forum. I saw some question concerning. Yeah, you can today go on a website, download the brochure, download the questionnaire, and start filling it. The sooner the better, because as soon as we receive your questionnaire, we can go on it, we can analyze this questionnaire, and we can give you some inputs to validate our understanding. So not waiting the end for sending the questionnaire. The ultimate date being the October 15th, but I think it's much better. You can getting iterative communication by you take the questionnaire, you download the questionnaire, you analyze the questionnaire. You can call us. You call Christian to get more information if you did not understand some elements, to get the best value from, and giving you the opportunity to give your best answers in function of your understanding, and not again waiting 15th of October, because if you are selected, we have to organize for you an audit, and again, the sooner the better. I mean, it will take some time for working with you. So it's not just one shot and we do it. It's done, finished. We try to be with you to understand and to see how to improve some elements which have to be improved. Christian, do you want to add something on that?
So the questionnaire can be downloaded from EIPM website under assessments, and then EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. So there is a kit of documents, the questionnaire, which front page was presented on one of the slides, plus you have access to additional information like terms of use, where we speak about how we protect the information that you communicate to us. It's really a secure environment. And also you have a glossary to be sure that the terminology that we use is well understood and that you reply in line with these points. And the shorter, lighter process, said Bernard, this means that instead of having 99 questions, you have only about 25 questions to answer. So answer means you have to score yourself, and you have to describe by group about 5 times, five places. You describe the key practices related with the questions. And this is important to decide about the agenda for the validation remote audit, and to understand and help you continue to improve, because you have the same report as for the normal process using the BBEST tool, which is online. So the value for you is you will have an audit visit, you will have challenges during the visit, and you have recommendations on how you can further improve and progress. And then you have the award.
I see another
also,
question.
The cost is much cheaper because there is no travel involved. It's less time, and we take into consideration the fact that there are big challenges for the purchasing organization in terms, like Bernard said, logistics, pricing, availability of products, and so forth. So you don't have to spend as much time answering the questionnaire and preparing for the audit or the validation interview.
I see another question concerning the reports. If we have if we can show some reports. So yeah, no, so I don't know if we answering precisely well this question, but perhaps Christian, you can just explain. This is a tool. This is a kind of a screenshot of a tool with different enablers and results criteria. Correct?
Yes, so you have, this is the front page of an assessment where you see the different enabler criteria on the top and the result criteria on the bottom. The color is coding what you have completed already, green is completed, purple is in progress, and white is still to be done. So the questions, as I said, you have like this, you have to score yourself on a scale of 0 to 10. On the dark field, you can real time, every time the scoring, which tells you when you can use a 10 or put a 4 or 1, 2, and you can download the glossary at any time. The description of the practices should be made. This is on the online tool, but we have the same configuration on the paper questionnaire for this year. On the right-hand side, you describe your practices for the questions which are listed. So the questions are not the complete set of questions. Again, it's just 1/3 of the normal quantity of questions. The next slide.
So this question. So yes, this questionnaire, which is on the screen today, is used for certification, and for the Peter Kraljic Award is a simplified questionnaire based on the same principle, correct?
Yeah, but the questions remain the same. It's just that there are less questions, which are focused on leadership and excellence during turbulent times. For the result criteria, you have in the tool, this is for the certification, and a normal process for award. You have to score yourself between 0 and 5. Again, there are explanations on what to score. And you select which process you are using to do this or that measurement of performance indicators or that. So you select, and because the processes which are proposed are more or less efficient in collecting the information from the stakeholders, for example. So there is no penalization if you select only one, but you have to select the best to get the full score. Okay, the next slide, set of slides will present you the maturity score, which is one outcome of the using the tool online. So there is a calculation according to the EFQM model, which is just as a highlight, emphasizing what you do for your customers, which are the internal or external customers, because of the weight of 1.5, and as business results, how do you contribute to the performance of the businesses in your company. So this is giving you the level of maturity, which is shown on the next slide. And you recognize the same 5 levels that we're using for the certification. And we assign a stage to a color of the certification from basic to platinum. It shows also that there are interpretation and meanings in the measures. Now, what is important is also for you driving your improvement is to compare your results with the benchmarks. And this is a page showing the results for an organization. So your assessment, your company is represented by the green bars. compared with the dark blue bar, which is the average of the 600 users of the tool, and the gold line, which is for us in the tool, the best-in-class companies, which are the winners of the 54 awards that have been given in the last 11 years. So really, we compare those results on a global basis. You saw that those best-in-class companies are coming from 22 different countries. So it's not just French-centric or German-centric or Gulf-centric or whatever. It's really a panel of winners coming from the whole world, I would say. We have winners from Asia, Japan, from US, from England, from Saudi Arabia, and so forth. So this is for one criteria. So you see that you can compare your results on a sub-criteria level, which is quite precise and accurate in terms of segmentation of the benchmark, because for the whole tool, you have 32 different benchmark areas. So you can say, yeah, I have here first line, a score of 2.5, an area where I can focus in priority, whether for the sub-criteria D or E, you have scored yourself in 10. Maybe we question the 10 during the audit, because 10 means you have been recognized by outside as a benchmark. So this is a sort of points for the validation visit. So this is just a closer view.
And we got exactly another analysis. So I don't know if we, by this presentation on the report, you see that you don't have just one information, one figure. You have a nice comparative analysis in between, some average of a population, some best in class. You have a complete benchmark, as Christian said, not only with one sector, but with multi-sectors and with the world. With all the companies who have been participating, and it gives you the report is giving you important elements for improvement. So, and today this is exactly what we have when we go on certification. If we go now on EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards, we have some similar element, except it's much lighter because we simplified the questionnaire for the reasons we explained.
So then I want to add, on the next slide, you see also the profile of your company and the best in class and the average one, so which gives you a profile. Also, one benefit of doing this and going through the certification or the award is that we often detect and highlight to the organization that they have really outstanding practices which are superior to the practices of an industry or the practices of the best-in-class companies, and help you document where you are strong and how you can even further improve. So this is connected with the research activities that we do. And for several winners in a year, we invite those winners to participate to a workshop or roundtables where they can present what they do. Sometimes it's important to create a critical mass. And through the webinars and the other teaching activities in connection with the EIPM, we can help you doing that.
Okay, thanks, Christian. We try to show you the benefit of the first of the tools, explaining you this tool Be Best, which is used at the same time for the certification and for the award. We try to explain you how it works. What we advise is if you're interested by the certification, go on the tool, contact back Christian, or you contact me back. if you're interested by the awards, you go, you download the documents again. The sooner the better, even though we have still till October 15. The award ceremony be in December in Paris, mid-December in Paris, and it's always a gala dinner. So we have a face-to-face gala dinner, I hope, this year compared to last year. So it's at the same time networking, gala dinner, recognition, journalists being there, and it's important being recognized as you are organization for your peers in terms of for your team, but also being recognized for your stakeholders, being recognized for your suppliers. So the only advice I would say, if you are interested, if you need more information, do not hesitate to contact us back. You can go on the website. You can contact Christian, or you can contact myself. Just getting on. Myself, you have my email. Sorry, Christian, yours is not on, but I will forward Christian email. So is and it's also you go on the website, you download the doc, and you have Christian email. So again, certification or Peter Kraljic Awards, go fast because for the certification it takes time. So if you want to be certified this year, and for the award, it's just a question of process and organization. So if you don't have any more question, it has been a pleasure being with you again. We just work on the idea of improvement. We work on the idea of recognition. We show that you are in the organization to help the business to grow, and this is the reason why we recognize as such among the best ones. So thank you very much. It's again one ceremony. It will be a part of our 30th anniversary, and for this 30 past year, we have been working with you and for you to be recognized, and the EIPM Peter Kraljic Award as a certification is to support you to be recognized. So thank you very much. Take care of yourself, keep safe, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye, and do not hesitate.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. Thanks a lot.